I'm Alicia McFarland. The federal government is working to lock in a third repatriation flight for Aussies stuck in Israel or Gaza. The first flight, run by Qantas, will leave Tel Aviv for London tomorrow. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says the Defence Force is continuing to monitor the conflict to determine whether troops need to be sent in.
The advice up to date has been that some commercial flights were still flying in and out of Tel Aviv, or the airport where it's envisaged we will have flights from at Ben Gurion Airport. But we'll continue, obviously, to take advice.
American support arrived in Israel by air and sea overnight, while the US has been working with Israel and Egypt to create a safe passage to evacuate Palestinian civilians from Gaza, which has run out of power and is being starved of food and water. Yes and no campaigners are making last-ditch pleas to undecided voters ahead of the Indigenous Voice referendum on Saturday. Esteemed journalist Stan Grant has weighed in, telling listeners Black Matters podcast some of the debate has been anything but constructive or respectful towards First Nations people.
I think the noise around this referendum has come at the expense of our ability to speak to each other. You can't be heard when people are yelling.
One lucky lotto winner in the US has taken home a hefty $1.73 billion Powerball jackpot. After tax, they'll receive about $1 billion less of that, equating to around 1.17 billion Aussie dollars.
After this, there is no turning back. You sip the red can, the story ends. You sip the black can, you enter dreamland. And I show you just how good the truth can taste. Max Taste Challenge.
In sport, the D's have confirmed Clayton Oliver was taken to hospital following a medical episode. He's undergone a number of tests and is now resting up at home. And Cameron Green looks set to be dumped in favour of fellow all-rounder Marcus Stoinis for Australia's World Cup clash with South Africa tonight. Skipper Pat Cummins reckons the two teams are fairly evenly matched.
They've always got some fast bowlers and batters that take the game on, you know, maybe a leg spinner. So it always feels like it's a clash of two very similar teams. Yeah, no doubt will be another great game.
Ready?
I'm ready.
It's timeless design, state-of-the-art technology, and captivating performance. Advanced new Mazda CX-3, a modern classic.
G'day, Tom Perri with you. It's hoped the Crater Lakes rim path from the stairs to Centenary Tower will be open by Christmas. The city of Mount Gambier has finally been given approval to investigate the removal of pine trees burned by fire last year. Council's Carl Manarangi says once the investigations play out, the trees can be removed, the track can reopen, and they can look at what comes next.
That'll be part of the rejuvenation plan. So there's talks about natives, there's also talks about replacing with some other pines. That's the next phase that we'll be going into, and Council will be looking at setting up a committee to look at what gets replaced and what gets put up there.
The District Council of Grant and Victoria's Glenelg Shire have joined forces. They've set up an agreement to allow staff of Mount Gambier and Portland airports to work out of either one. The partnership also ensures mutual learnings when it comes to operation. Grant Council CEO Daryl Wicker says it's exciting to build partnerships with other councils.
This is a small body of work for what will hopefully create greater opportunities cross-border. Fair to say that the regional councils along the Victorian border and also in the South Australian border have been working through our respective local government associations to have regular meetings with the cross-border commissioners from both Victoria and South Australia as well.
And the upgrade of the Naracoorte Vinnie's Family Centre will soon be complete thanks to a $12,000 grant for new carpet. Federal member for Barker Tony Passon says the cost of living crisis is making organisations like Vinnie's more important than ever.
Whether it's Food Bank, Vinnie's or other charities, there's a very clear message. Their services are being used more and more, and concerningly by families that are in employment and have full-time steady jobs.
The Smith Street building has been in use since 1986 and is currently run by 24 volunteers.